everyone, it's Froggy, and I'm back again with another episode of Women of Zolv, so let's go ahead and start it. Upon waking and checking the time, you realize that you still had a few hours left to the day. I haven't had a dream about school in years. Time to see if I can take my mind off of it. Go to your office, visit the castle library, travel to the city library, rest in bed. Let's go to our office. Okay, you want to talk to a certain person. Okay, so Mercia and Zuna is a no-go. Clannis and Valamir. Focus on paperwork, not people. These are the only options. Ah, Jesus. Okay, let's do it Clannis and Valamir then. Okay, this is a great start. So, welcome to my office. You have no idea how to open this conversation, do you? I know, my beauty tends to render all silent. Let's do that one. There we go. How very unsurprising. Pity you hide it behind that desk so often. What droll tends to find its way to this office anyways? Scammers and would-be entrepreneurs? With the occasional thinly veiled threats. Women attempting to elevate their stations with a twist of the arm. Ah, to be so desperate. You sound overly familiar with such letters. You and I share the same unfortunate circumstances. I'm sad to say. If only it were a simple matter to make such individuals suffer repercussions. You never know. Become matriarch and shake the right hand, and you may pass a law allowing that very thing. Oh, I fully intend to. The economy being in the hands of brutes would make for terrible business models. Come on in. Hello, Lady Zenna. Lady Clannis. Is there truly nowhere else you could be right now? Lady Clannis, if there was, you wouldn't be asking. Isn't that mouth exactly how you ended up having to inconvenience me with your servitude? I'm pretty sure the situation we're trapped in is very much a product of your own doing. So, you didn't slap me? In front of Liz? If I said I thought I was fending off a creature of the dark, would I have to answer yes? How in Dodge's name do you just become more bothersome the more you're punished for it? Oh, I'm terribly sorry, Lady Clannis. Perhaps the weight of concern was lifted when I almost lost all of my hair. Big yikes. Anyone else want the air conditioner on? I'm going to turn it on. We're ripping the Band-Aid right off. I see you two are more comfortable being together already. I see we're ripping the Band-Aid right off. And how crude the pull. Count your blessings, young Valamir. Considering you struck a matriarch in the make, your punishment was as swift as it was merciful. Mercy for the exploited, huh? How very charitable of the women to decide it all. Don't you lay your misfortunes on me. I wasn't the one to put a blade to your hair. Yet who saw fit to stand by and remain complicit in my humiliation? And pray tell, what would you have me do? You knew the risk and acted out of turn all the same. Comet, you disaster. Come again? Despite your best efforts to make me tune you out, I did not forget your words. Better than most, you seem to understand that the role I must endure isn't fair. You were even in favor of just letting the offense slide to prevent the loss of my hair. But by all accounts, we wouldn't be in this situation if you hadn't just leaned into the part of yourself and didn't act so deplorably. So, Comet, are you another base creature of society? Or is there a better person behind that insufferable behavior? Nothing else could be done or said. Once Clannis pardoned herself, Valamir followed behind, and you were left to your own devices until you were done in the office for the cycle. Woof! As it approached dinner time, you grabbed a quick bite to eat The knowledge of tomorrow's exam with Yaxida drove you to sleep early. You dreamed of being in a school on Earth and taking a test on Zulian culture, suddenly unable to remember any of the answers. Yo! Guess what time it is? Oh, Dodge, isn't it too early? How would you know? You went to sleep and never got back up. Now get your kickable ass out of bed and get dressed. I've decided that your exam is happening. You heard footsteps walking away from your door. If she wasn't so clearly the type to break into your room and drag you into the field, I'd so consider bailing on her ass. Fine, let's get this over with. You dressed for battle and left for Yakusuda's training ground, where the final battle awaited. You ready, small time? No, and where is everyone else? Sleeping. Oh, come the fuck. You're a tired girl, so I'm looking forward to seeing what you can do when fighting sleep. You're really going to make me take that exam like this? Of course I am. With how often people tell me you're always sleeping somewhere, this was inevitable. I don't know what your deal is, but if you're hoping to become matriarch, then you need to be able to defend yourself at a moment's notice. I won't hesitate for a moment to tell Zuna that you ain't ready if you don't surprise me today. I get it, raise fist. Then fuck you, let's go. Good response. Let's finish this ongoing dance, shall we? Despite all of your training, Yaxida never seemed to have trouble dodging and punishing your every move. There was a moment when it looked like you were close to connecting a punch to her smug face, but at the last second she ducked under your punch and delivered an uppercut to return the favor. Hers didn't miss. You fell to the ground with your senses all knocked out of order. Sorry, I'm just enjoying the music. All right, everybody, dance break! Okay, let's go back to it. It was then that Yaxida concluded the exam. Well, damn. Maybe that last hit was a bit much. Regardless, the test is over. You can go back to your room now. Despite how it looks, you didn't do bad, kiddo. Just a damn pity you couldn't do better. Still aching from Yakusida's most brutal blows to date, you went back to the castle to sleep and heal. You started dreaming even before you could finish dropping onto your pillow. Ooh, this is a new room. Hello. You opened your eyes to a room you'd never seen before, but judging by who were in attendance, it was somewhere in the castle. Fortunately, you were able to quickly discern that you had entered a new vision, and thus invisible to all who were before you. Yes, the insurgents are a problem, but I don't understand how they're connected to the situation in Nojuk. I too await an explanation, General Zula. They're kids vying for social reform, not child abductors. You are all familiar with the scientists in gray, Claire Zamori, yes? Everyone around the table gave confirming nods before they looked at Clannis's mother. We don't understand the connection ourselves, but we have reason to believe the inherent power dwelling within children is somehow tied to the abductions happening around Zal, as well as the growing social unrest. I've heard that 10A child roaming around these halls talking revolutions. Are you telling us there's been more of that around the sky? Well, that's what I've been hearing. It ain't just a few kids barking either. Practically any island of note has a growing number of vocal dissenters. Apparently, they were supposed to be way quieter about their foolhardy goals, but their little group ain't so small anymore, meaning some of them are talking too much, like that 10A girl. I'll talk her down from her more aggressive goals. You can trust that. She was there when I needed a friend, so I too will ensure her health and livelihood. See that you do. Threatening to drain the economy is one thing, but adding the abduction of children, well, let's just say I hope such speculation proves to be categorically in error.
I don't get it. How does wanting gender equality lead to kidnapping kids? There's folly to their mental trajectory.
That's what we aim to find out. My best theory is that the group of fledglings have found a way to possibly harness the power. If they did, then they could potentially push their agenda with brute force.
Why not interrogate Tene then? She's obviously one of the rabble-rousers.
Questioning the daughter of a matriarch has its complications. The cleanest way to go about it would be to let the general handle Tene. Yes, familiarity will lend itself well in preventing strife between politicians. If Tene is playing part to such injustice, I'll guide her to reason. Where is she now? As fate would have it, she hasn't been around the castle.
Ah, of course she hasn't. We finally have a chance to really nail her, and she leaves. Why am I always a victim to people having perfect timing?
Patience. Unless she has the wits to go into hiding, she will not be difficult to find. Focus on other potential candidates we can interrogate. Unfortunately, we know of no other such leads. Tene was the only one in Zeneska bringing attention to herself.
Have others not already been questioned?
Yes, but they either knew nothing or kept loyal to the ones leading the rebellious faction.
If you give me permission, I can ask Zeneme to find the weakest link with the most information to give. And I'll get that information out of the poor bastard.
Torture is a serrated act, seldom appreciated or desired, Mana.
Ain't gonna do nothing but punch a few times, just to remind them that taking kids ain't right. What a stupid statement. Isn't that what you're describing, the exact definition of torture? Spoken like a person who's never, in fact, properly researched what torture actually does to a person. Leave her be. I have nothing but envy for those who can go their whole lives understanding nothing of the act. More pressingly, Zaname was the individual Velvet encountered, yes? Yes, ma'am. She's currently been infiltrating these insurgents' secret little meetings and trying to climb her way to find out who's running it all. Surprisingly good at it, considering she can't lie either. Ah, to be so talented. A shame that you can't be as helpful, Vicia. Too busy delivering pithy jabs and mundane conversation. Are such activities so bothersome to you? How do you mean? To allow others' words to forge yours as strongly as they do is quite telling. Londa stood up from her chair, placed her hands down, and eyed Vicia from across the table. There you go again with that bothersome air. Don't act so high and above reproach. You offended the senses by sitting there feigning perfection when failing to defend the cave in Rama was the last notable thing you did. Everyone and seemingly everything fell dead quiet. Even before Vicia's eyes flew open, the whole room grew uneasy. The blind gray kept her eyes locked to the table, but all felt watched. Londa's eyes scanned the room as swiftly as possible, trying to interpret the reactions. Londa, go write a message to Lady Greta. Tell her you'll be staying with her for the time being. What? I'll do no such thing. There's no need to pen Aunt Greta, because I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't. When you do, tell Greta that you are expected to depart Zeneska shortly after Lady Zuna chooses her heir. Linda spun around to face her mother. What?
Londa took one more look around the room's inhabitants before looking back at Vicia. Vicia hadn't changed her gaze since she opened her eyes. Londa nearly ran out of the room, everyone but Vicia side-eyeing her as she left. Cithra looked across the table to get Nora's attention. I trust you will keep that fool girl safe. With my life. Good. Yava is an island ripe with those who would think themselves revolutionaries. Londa will be in need of your protection if she is to stay with Greta.
Yes, that does bring us to the question of what emboldened these youths to take such extreme action.
If they learned how to utilize the children's latent powers, then we need to learn both how they learned of this and how they'll use it. Perhaps a connection from up the political ladder. Yes, there's a chance in dealing with these people who either have their hands in a lot of hats or are dangerously proficient in arcane magic.
That, unfortunately, won't help narrow down the suspects at all. This room alone hosts a number of us who are known for both.
Not to mention, we all know countless people who fit the description.
Then, we commission every capable detective on every affected island to link a motive to the abduction of children.
Not the promised revolution?
No. There's no guarantee the insurgents are linked to the abductions, and even if they are, there's no way of knowing if there's an ulterior motive higher up the ranks. So we start at the baseline. Why are the children being taken, and who benefits the most from it? I will be staying in Zeneska. In the event, we will need to hold another meeting. I trust it is the same for the rest of you.
They all nodded in agreement. Make my castle your home. If there is a woman planning an upheaval, we will catch and bring her to justice.
Damn it. I can't remember the vision. It seemed like an important future event, too.
You were still aching from your early morning exam, but the day had at least a few more hours in it. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and end this episode here for today. It was a real eye-opener. Haha, but anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you want to see more videos from me, then don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.